Hi, Katie here. Welcome to Unit 1, Industrial Agriculture. I'll start this video with an introduction of myself and give you some of the materials for this unit, then explain Homework 1. Katie, your instructor. Grew up in Indonesia, lived in a subsistence agriculture community where farmers grew rice and corn, peanuts, that kind of thing. And that's really where my agricultural interests started. I attended a small college in Indiana where I designed a course on sustainable agriculture and co-taught it as a student-led course, and that was when I started working in agricultural education while living on the school farm. And here's our bread oven we built during that time. After undergraduate schooling, I worked for a while with the Northeast Organic Farming Association as their at-exhibit sponsor coordinator and helped fill their exhibit tents for conference. That was a lot of fun. I made a lot of connections during that time and met a lot of different wonderful groups working in the area of sustainable agriculture. So after that, I wanted a little more background in sciences and attended the University of Massachusetts for my master's degree, where I researched ammonia volatility from cow manure, and during that time was a teaching assistant for sustainable living, sustainable agriculture, and the introductory soils course. So that's my background in teaching, and since then I have taught more of these courses online and in person. Let's move on to the materials for Unit 1. So we'll begin with a short history of agriculture, which began 10,000 years ago. So this is an excerpt from a book, An Edible History of Humanity. Next, there is a agriculture in the classroom website that has timelines of agriculture by the decade in the United States. There's some fascinating facts and information in here. Next, we'll move into a few readings about the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution began after World War II with the surge of human population just expanding, and the goals of researchers at the time were to help feed this growing population. Norman Borlaug is one of the leading scientists of this era, who passed away recently. And their goals for these high-yielding crops, spreading them around the world, including the use of inorganic fertilizers and added irrigation, pesticides. However, there are certain groups and perspectives that disagree with this point of view, one of them being Dr. Vandana Shiva, who is a physicist from India, and her perspective is that this type of agriculture that is encouraging industrialization takes away the sovereign rights of indigenous peoples, and in the long run doesn't help farmers actually sustain a living. So I want you to have these perspectives, be able to see arguments from one side and the other, and have a firm grounding in the basis for sustainable agriculture as well as industrial agriculture. So after the Green Revolution, often people consider biotechnology to be the modern Green Revolution. Once, chemicals are no longer providing our food source, genetically modified crops are supposed to be the wave of the future. This is just more background to help you understand the context for why we should care about sustainable agriculture. There will be a video about the 7 myths of industrial agriculture for you to watch. Finally, please read the article, How Sustainable Agriculture Can Address the Environmental and Human Health Harms of Industrial Agriculture. You will need to read this article in order to complete your first homework assignment, which is a briefing for a senator on legislation to improve sustainable agriculture. I suppose we should get started. There's a lot of information here and a lot of articles to read. Okay, well, I'll be chatting with you soon.